Hi there and welcome to the Daily Arsenal News Show. Let's dive into today's top stories. Danny Murphy amazed by 24-year-old Arsenal player versus Liverpool. Danny Murphy has issued his verdict on the performance of Declan Rice as Arsenal beat Liverpool at the weekend, as he outlined why he sees the Gunners being much stronger this season. Mikel Arteta's side secured a huge victory in the Premier League title race on Sunday. It was a real statement of intent from Arsenal, who, of course, came agonisingly close to lifting the title last season before being caught by Manchester City. City are lurking once again this term, but Arsenal do appear to have taken a step forward this season, with Declan Rice moving to the Emirates in a club record deal over the summer. And speaking on talkSPORT, Danny Murphy suggested that Rice was exceptional against Jurgen Klopp's man, as he was asked what makes him think Arsenal can improve on how well they did last year. He also praised Jorginho after his display in the win. He said, "Belief. I thought in the latter part of last season they lacked a bit of belief, their confidence dropped. I think what they have got now with Declan Rice in the middle of the pitch is someone who really gives them an extra dimension. He was absolutely incredible. His physicality, he gets onto the other boys as well. He is turning into a good leader for them. They have got Timber to come back, an international player. He will give them competition in the defensive area. I think Jorginho's experience could be key. First time he'd played in God knows how long, and he looked tremendous. I thought it was a brilliant performance. Rice has been exceptional for Arsenal, and yet he probably has still not got enough credit for how well he has performed since his move. This season has shown that spending £100 million on a player does not guarantee superstar performances, far from it. But Rice is one player who has taken on the mantle of being Arsenal's record signing after such an incredible season for both Arteta's man and the England international, and really thrived. Pundit says Arsenal have a 26-year-old player who is way too easy to expose. Arsenal have the joint best defensive record in the Premier League this season, but there is still something rather unconvincing about their backline at times. Indeed, as was showcased at the weekend, Arsenal's defensive do still have a mistake or two in them at times, and speaking on his podcast, Eamon Dunphy has outlined one player who he thinks doesn't really have what it takes to be a top-class defender. Dunphy named Gabriel as a player who doesn't particularly rate, claiming that the Brazilian is a very vulnerable defender who could have really struggled if Darwin Núñez had played at the weekend. He said, "They have a number of problems, Arsenal, and one of them is at the heart of the defense, where they have this Gabriel who is vulnerable, in particular Núñez. They were made for him, and he did cause problems when he came on. As much as we like Gabriel as a player, it must be said that he does have his moment. Towards the end of last season, he looked lost without William Saliba next to him at times, and while he is largely been solid this term, he does still have that air of vulnerability about him. You can watch a defender like Saliba and know that they are wholly assured in their ability and what they are doing, but with Gabriel, it almost feels as though he is a moment of madness away from his performances being completely derailed at any given moment in any given game. Gabriel is a player that we rate highly, but as Dunphy says, he is vulnerable to the old defensive lapse, and that does make us feel a bit nervous when watching Arsenal. Pundit suggests £27 million player just isn't right for Arsenal. Arsenal beat Liverpool 3-1 at the weekend, but there were some concerning elements of this performance. Arsenal were wasteful in front of goal during large periods of the game, while there was a calamitous error towards the end of the first half involving both centre-backs and the goalkeeper, David Raya. Speaking on Premier League productions, Karen Carney has been discussing Raya's role in this goal, and she questioned whether or not the £27 million man is right for Arsenal, claiming that mistakes like this can cost you a league title. She said, "I would say the goalkeeper needs to communicate better. He can see it all, he is under no pressure, and that's where we question, is he the right goalkeeper? Because he doesn't have that commanding presence. You can't make these mistakes because they were impeccable, they were clean until this moment. That's what cost you titles and major games." This isn't the first time this season that Raya has made a serious error in goal for Arsenal, but somehow the Gunners keep getting away with it. Indeed, Raya has made errors, but he is yet to be at fault in any of Arsenal's defeat, as the Gunners always seem to rescue him with wins against the likes of Luton, Liverpool, and Man City, where Raya has been shaky to say the least. Arsenal will be desperate to win the league title this season, but it's very difficult to get over the line if you have a goalkeeper who keeps making these kinds of errors. Carney is right. Raya could cost Arsenal in the long term. Journalist now shares what he's been told about Thomas Partey's injury. It feels like it's been an absolute age since we've seen Thomas Partey play for Arsenal. The Ghanaian midfielder has been out with injury for a long time now, and it almost feels as though he will never return at this rate. However, according to Charles Watts, speaking on Inside Arsenal, there is some positive news on the horizon regarding Partey and his fitness. Indeed, the journalist says that while he's been told Partey won't be back for this weekend's game against West Ham, it shouldn't be too long before he is back in first team training, claiming that he doesn't need any more surgery and it should be a quick recovery this time. He said, "As far as I'm aware, he will not be available again this weekend against West Ham. That will come too soon for him. But I have been told we are not talking about another operation or anything like that. It's going to be quick in terms of when he will be back training with the squad. It doesn't look like it will be a long-term thing, which is good news." This is a huge boost for Arsenal as we head into the business end of the season. Arsenal have just made a huge step in the title race after beating Liverpool over the weekend, and they need to push on now. The fact that Partey is back soon is exactly the type of boost Arsenal need heading into this period. It allows for rotation and it adds a different dynamic to a midfield that has been very flat at times this season. Of course, the big issue here is whether or not Partey can actually stay fit for a prolonged period this time, and based on the season so far, it's hard to believe that Partey's injury issues will be completely behind him upon his return. Arsenal could decide to sell their tremendous 23-year-old player this summer. Mikel Arteta's Arsenal could decide to sell Fabio Vieira in the summer. The Gunners are expected to be active in the transfer window after signing nobody last month. They need new additions in several positions, but a few of their current players could also be moved on. Vieira is one of them, who could be shown the Arsenal door. Arsenal signed Fabio Vieira from Porto for £34 million before the start of last season. The Portuguese midfielder is a tremendous talent. He is excellent on the ball, has a great vision, can score goals, provide assists, and is hugely versatile. On paper, he is a fantastic player to have, but Vieira hasn't quite fulfilled his potential at Arsenal yet. To make things worse, he hasn't played a game since November because of an injury. Now, Football Transfers claim that Arsenal are on the market for a new attacking midfielder, and Oscar Gluch is the one who has caught Mikel Arteta's eye. The same report claims that both Vieira and Emil Smith-Rowe could be moved on at the end of the season, which is why Arsenal scouts are looking for replacement. Vieira, who joined Arsenal just over 18 months ago, will still have 3 full years left on his contract this summer. Fabio Vieira has by no means set the Premier League stage on fire since arriving at Arsenal. The 23-year-old has found it difficult to adapt to the physicality of the English game, but it's too early to write him off, in our opinion. Vieira is a hugely talented player. He provides options to Mikel Arteta in multiple positions and has already shown flashes of his brilliance in an Arsenal shirt. We think Arsenal should keep hold of Vieira for one more year. If he doesn't deliver by this time in 2025, the Gunners should move him on then. Arteta wants midfielder with 10 goals and 10 assists at Arsenal this summer. It's been another great season so far for Mikel Arteta and his Arsenal side, and whilst they might not have won anything yet, the improvement that the Spaniard has made in the team are obvious. Currently behind Liverpool and Man City in what's shaping up to be the best title race for years, the Gunners are still absolutely in the conversation at present. The next half a dozen games or so are crucial in keeping Arsenal on the coattails of the Reds and the Citizens, or potentially seeing them leapfrog their contemporaries. Liverpool play City on March 10, while Arsenal are up against Pep Guardiola's man and Arteta's old club at the end of that month. By then, there will be 8 games left of the campaign, and things could really be hotting up in terms of jostling for position, regardless of whether Arsenal do finally bag a title that they have not had their hands on since the 2003-2004 campaign. Arteta is already looking ahead to the following campaign. According to Dean Jones at Give Me Sport, the Spaniard wants to sign Leicester's highly rated midfielder Kiernan Dewsbury-Hall. The 25-year-old has already scored 10 goals this season for Leicester and provided 10 assists, according to Who Scored. Should the Foxes get themselves promoted, which is looking nailed on at this point, Arteta could have a fight on his hands to land the player, though a decent offer into Leicester's coffers might well tempt them to do business, given that they could utilize the money elsewhere. Pundit says unique 27-year-old Arteta Wants is absolutely perfect for Arsenal. Michalik has described Ivan Toney as the biggest prize on the market for Premier League clubs this summer and believes that he is perfectly suited to Arsenal. Plenty of Gunners fans would surely love to see Toney come in the summer, and speaking on ESPN, Michalik believes that it's a no-brainer for Mikel Arteta and Edu to do all they can to bring the England international in, given how unique he is right now. He said, "All I can tell you is he is the biggest prize right now in the Premier League. I can't think of any other player because of what he gives you for that particular league. Not only does he knows it, he is proven he can score. He is a great number 9 in terms of hold up. He can assist, he can score. He is great on set pieces, his pace, his size, his stamina, just about everything. You tell me a player like that. You can name your price, because I can't imagine any club in the Premier League that would say no to that. I really can't. Aside from Liverpool, they are probably not going to be looking because they have 3, 4, 5 players, but Chelsea, certainly, Man United should be, Arsenal obviously. Look how smoothly he came on after such a long break. It's incredible. It's almost as if he didn't miss a bit right now. The player who can play through the middle, he can come off the left, he can come off the right. So the biggest prize there is, and the biggest fight. He takes Arsenal to the next level. He takes Man United to the next level. I don't care if Højlund's there or not. We've talked about Real Madrid, how many players you need, and all that. So all those 3 teams, Chelsea for sure. But yeah, I think if I am Ivan Toney and I look at the projects where they currently are, and it's my big move, maybe the only big move a player like Ivan Toney is going to make, no doubt, in his mind and on Arsenal's mind, this is a perfect match. As we wrap up today's Arsenal news, remember to stay tuned for daily updates right here on the channel. Don't miss out on the latest updates, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and give us a like if you found this information valuable. Your support means the world to us. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care.